This is my block. It's a perfect mile. This is me, Beau. Nice beard, eh? And this is my barn, where I make things. I'm going to run 26 laps of my block in the next 24 hours. At least a mile an hour, which equals a marathon. The marathon provides a structure, where in between laps, I'll do as much as possible. Making things, odd jobs, cooking, fixing stuff. There's kind of no point, but there's lots of point to it as well. To do as much as possible in a day, lots of tasks, and to get back to being practical. Get away from the screen. And I'm a bit fat, I want to lose the gut and do stuff that I've been meaning to do for ages. It's exciting because I have no idea how I'm going to feel in 24 hours, nor what I get done. One of my bonuses is going to be eating 8 centimetres of licorice an hour. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Bugger. So I've got to split 2 in half, don't I?
Nah, doesn't do it for me. I'd be having, every mile, I'd be having a kilo of chocolate.
I did a PhD about 6 months ago and didn't have much fun because I was inside writing all the time. I'm going to do lots of projects and I'll unpack all these projects as the day unfolds. The potentials of a day are awesome. I have no idea how I'm going to feel and what my brain will be thinking and what I actually get done in the next 24 hours. That one. And very rarely do I put myself into a position where I can do so much in 24 hours. Clean the slate. I've got this lovely structure of a marathon, 1 mile an hour, and in between do as much as you can. A tree a lap or a couple of lap, there's about 40 trees that'll go in along my nature strip and the neighbours. Hope the neighbours don't mind. I'm nervous about not doing this day justice, both for its potential of wackiness and fun. I don't want this to be a job. So I'll run 3 laps this first hour and then a lap every hour from then on and you've got yourself a marathon. Three laps. You're a beauty. Oh, I've got all sorts of cool things to add to the list. Yes! Rubbish. There is rubbish out there. Not a lot, but enough. I'll take my backpack next time, so pick up rubbish. All right, so now this next half an hour before the next lap is starting all the key projects that need to be started. Helen's little key ring, which I broke this morning. Beautiful. Project number 1. Shit, it's going to come around real quick. The hour, top of the hour, and I'm going to get really engrossed, and then all of a sudden, whoa, no, we've got to do another lap. I'm going to make an outdoor table as well. So while we're here, I'm going to grab the legs of the table and that one.
How's it going? You working up a sweat?
Yeah.
That's what I like to see.
I thought, I pulled this out of an old school. Actually, it still exists, the school.
Yeah.
In a dumpster, and I thought as soon as I pulled it out, I thought, that's a good paddle shaft. Cool, huh?
Well, how far have you run already?
4.8 Ks, 3 laps. So, I want to make 2 paddles, 1 full piece paddle, which is 1 single piece of Douglas fir, and then 1 that's a laminated piece, so getting lots of smaller bits together. Gorgeous. It's going to make a beautiful paddle. Now this glue takes about 20 odd hours to dry, so that's perfect. Sometime tomorrow morning I can finish it off. Number 4. This next lap I'm going to take the backpack and pick up rubbish, and I didn't think of that 3 laps ago. So what a great way to live, that I can live on tangents but have sort of purpose and do all these tasks. I reckon it's people on their way home that travel through this area, and this is just the beers they drink on the way home. Imagine just winding down the window and they do that. What is in their head? Who taught them that? Anyway, get that funk out of your brain. So regular days don't allow you to follow tangents and just, it's quite expected what you do most days, I reckon. Anyway, so there's all sorts of things that are going to be added on to this next 24 hours, but I'm going to start to be able to sign things off as well. Right, so these are anything between a 2-minute job and a full day job like the table's going to be. And they're just doable things. 20, 21, 22, 23. Not bad for a dickhead. This is lap number 6. Mapped out the table, legs are ready to go for that. 2 paddles are on the way. Painted the fence, planted 6 trees, and run 5 miles, which is what, almost 9 Ks. Real sense of purpose to all of this. I wonder how sustainable it is. In fact, well, it's not. I'm doing this sort of full tilt for 24 hours, but really, half your day should be like this all the time. I want to get some really nice coals to make some good bread and soup for dinner. Righto, make some progress on these legs. Just notching in the lengths of timber that go along the top of the table. Yeah, it feels great. Do something physical, do some projects, some pottering, and save the rest for thinking or screen time, you know? I've been storing my pumpkins and zucchinis in an old pair of pants, and it actually kind of looks like, you know, a one-legged man. Bum cheek being a pumpkin and zook, because the mice have been getting at it. Yeah, Grandad always used to do it. Shit. Coffee during a marathon. Wood that's this long is useless to everyone. All the tradies in the world throw it out, but they're perfect for legs, right? So I've held on to these for way too long. They've been under the house. I've moved the bastards 5 times. And finally I can make a table out of them. These top pieces on now, and then dinner might be close. Soup and damper. What a beautiful night to run.
Oh, you picked the best night.
That's amazing. Never planted a tree at night either. That's kind of cool. Don't know if it tastes any good. And that could be all show, and
wow, that
might be like,
really good.
It might be like the Griswold's turkey, you know, you go open and it just collapses on itself.
Good base for the soup.
Yep. Not quite sure what the black bits are. I think that's just bush pepper. Oh, so good. Yeah.
What do you call this stuff, Dal? You always get on my case about how long I take to cook.
You use every pot in the house. You know, walk in there and it's like, it's a bloody tornado. It's great. And it tastes fantastic. And then it takes 4 days to clean up.
So I have to prepare you. I have to say, I'm just letting you know, are you okay that I'm going to cook tonight, but it might take half an hour for me to get the meal ready.
Half an hour? It takes you half an hour to have toast. But okay, I'll concede that. Beautiful. I'm task orientated, and these all present a whole bunch of problems as well, which is really nice. You can just lock into it with your brain and your body, and what a really satisfying task. I'm stoked with that. That's the most satisfying little job so far. People should do this more often. One neighbour thinks I'm a bit of a weirdo because I'm doing lots of laps of the block. Even had a glass of red already. Who has a glass of red in between a marathon, eh? Yeah, how cool's that? And then, yeah, the table's taking shape. Helen always says I should stretch more. That feels really good. Yeah, one of my first building projects, year 7. Can pull it into service again. I had a crush on Jane Ingram when I was making this. Jane Ingram, if you're out there, she was hot. Jim was my best friend during year 7. How long have we got? Good. A little bit of rope from there to there. I'm not sure I trust it. Trust little year 7 red-headed Beau? I'm not sure I trust him. He was a dirtbag then. That'll do, donkey. My mind's still active and I feel really good. Got a bit of chafe around the balls, which I don't usually get. So I feel like a bit of a rookie again. And I feel like this whole thing is about 86,400 seconds in a day, or whatever it is. I feel like as soon as I get close to the barn on every lap, it's like, reset. What do I do again this hour? You know, so it's quite nice. And humans, you know, we just chop up the day. It's just a novel way of doing it. I don't know, the bloody human body's remarkable. And maybe there's something in it that using tools and using dexterity in your brain in other capacities kind of, I don't know, keeps the legs going. Don't know how good this is going to be, but pretty shit, I imagine. Cross it off. Beautiful. I might try this whole idea. Kay Cotty, when she was solo sailing around the world, would only sleep for 20 minutes at a time. She'd have to get up and check her boat. I don't know, I've never tried pulse sleeping like that. Kay can do it, I'll have a crack.
All right, jump. Three or 4 minutes ago, I was just slipping into a very deep sleep, and then the alarm went. So I've gone from being on the verge of real subconscious and lusting for sleep as well, and now I couldn't be any more alive. What a surreal kind of thing, really. Running around your block in the middle of the night, no torch. The moon's out. I feel like a ghost. Yeah, I can see the barn twinkling away with its one light on and faint smoke coming out of the chimney. What a beautiful beacon to run back to. Oh, pothole. Jesus. I almost did an ankle.
Yeah, I'm just tired, bloody tired, eh? So my energy for wanting to do lots of little tasks is just completely overridden with Beau, sleep, you know. I've probably only had sort of 30 or 40 minutes sleep and it's almost dawn. Geez, what a thing, an experiment, you know. I'm finding out new things about myself, it's really good. You know, I'm a good idiot. Once you're up, once you've made that choice to do the lap, you're all right, you know. The mental effort is laying down, and then the alarm goes ding, 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 and you think, oh shit, because it feels like about 2 minutes. And so this real flexibility, this idea of time, it's just compressed, it's amazing. It's a different kind of marathon. It's horrible. Getting up is horrible. You know, it's that, it feels horrible to get up. And it's so nice when you get that warmth. Yeah, I feel really good. I'm usually up now, right? So the body's saying, right, get up, even though you haven't slept. So, I feel great. Still got that compelling urge to sort of stop, but I know I can override that now because this is daytime, it's playtime, you know? You run a marathon and you're bloody cactus for days. You can barely walk, you walk around like a 100-year-old. Whereas I feel completely fine now because of the burst, the rest, and the sort of pottering around and eating and hydrating, and great way to do a marathon. Do it over 24 hours. Been meaning to do that for 2 years. 10-minute job. Awesome. Planting a tree is a bloody amazing thing. People should go and plant trees. Map yourself against the growth of a tree. They'll grow up and they will represent the marathon. Eat first orange. Yes. And that's the first edible one. Make outdoor table. Bang. Chop wood, let's go and do that now. I get asked a lot why you run, Beau, or why do you scavenge for old wood and roofing iron? You know, why do you do things? Well, unless you're hunting for food or making a baby, there's no real point to anything. So I ask myself, what's the point of all this? And I think, well, I may have just had the ultimate day of running and making and fixing and being. 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32. So I like the outcomes of this. I'm sitting at a table that didn't exist a day ago. That's empowering and it's impacting your life, you know, I reckon that's great. This kooky old farmer, Cliffy Young, he used to run around his paddocks with his gumboots on. I'm not sure what today was. I know it was full, I've got chafe, I'm gonna sleep like the dead. It was a really thoughtful, thinking, doing day. What a great experiment.
Eat first orange, right? Plant trees, make soup, make a baby.
Yeah, what do you think? Should we do that? 10 minutes? 8 minutes? What about 4?